Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Boop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, happy Friday, and happy, almost said Thanksgiving. Happy Friday. It is the weekend. I hope everybody had a wonderful week and a great day. It is Friday night, it's a little bit later, so let's get into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, my reaction, my rant, my snark about this week's episode. It's season 15. It's episode 13, title, Read the Room. Okay, so just about everybody has gotten to the villa. This villa is crazy insane. Listen, Dorit's room, Dorit's bathroom has a sauna. And Jennifer Tilly has a surprise in her room, and it's a chapel. Like, not like, oh, here's like a little side prayer nook. No, a chapel that was like blessed by an actual pope. Pope Clement the 12th or 13th or something like that. Crazy. Here is, I'm also going to give you another reason why, one of many reasons why I love Jennifer Tilly. Jennifer Tilly, upon seeing this, says that she thinks it's haunted, but lucky for her, she travels with ghost repellent. Of course she does. Of course, that's why I love Jennifer Tilly. I would say that Jennifer Tilly is probably my favorite on this show. Okay, Sutton's bags are lost. She doesn't know where they're at up front, but then a little bit later on, we find out that they're in her bags are in Germany. So for the first night, they're not going out. They're just going to stay at the villa, and they're going to have a dinner. So just about everybody is ready. The ladies are funneling into downstairs to not the waiting room, to the living room, the seating area. And Natalie's talking to Amanda, and she's like, well, the night is yours. What could go wrong? Those are famous last words. I have some water, so grab yours. Let us hydrate. Okay. Yeah, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? Famous last words on these kinds of shows. So everybody's coming down. Listen, once again, Jennifer Tilly and that dress, to me, was something straight out of like a Fellini movie. She had on that figure-hugging black dress and that big black hat with all of those colorful feathers. I absolutely loved it. I agree with Rachel. Like, when Jennifer Tilly commits, she goes there and she commits. So everybody's there for dinner. Well, everybody except for Dorit, because she is late again. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was there, this would piss me off, because you don't even have to go anywhere. It's not like you have to get ready and then you have to drive someplace and meet people for dinner. You have to get ready and go downstairs. At this point, to me, it's a little disrespectful and it's rude. To me, it's just rude, because everybody else was able to get ready. And then when she finally does come downstairs, she has on a black dress and like that choker necklace, like that big necklace on, that collar necklace. And meanwhile, I mean, everybody else has on, looks like it took them a little bit longer to put their stuff together. I mean, Jennifer Tilly with that hat. So I don't know. If I was there, it would piss me off a little bit. It would get me a little upset. So the question to Amanda before Dorit gets there is, have you spoken to Dorit? Amanda hasn't spoken to Dorit. She says in confessional that speaking to Dorit it feels like torture. But I'm going to try once more. I'm going to try again to try and clear this up with Dorit, which makes me think, did I miss the time before when the time before when you tried to clear it? Because I've seen every episode this season, and I don't remember her trying to clear it up with Dorit. So when you say again, that leads one to believe that you tried before, which she didn't. Okay, so they were, before Dorit showed up, they were all waiting for this surprise. So finally, the grand surprise. The grand surprise is that, of course, Villa Bibiani has its own theater. Not like a movie theater where they can show movies, but an actual theater where they can put on plays or shows. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's this little theater, and it's from like the 1700s. Beautiful art, beautiful murals, everything is hand painted, and out come these opera singers. Now, obviously, Amanda's of the same ilk as Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong, who doesn't appreciate, opera. And as soon as I saw her, because Bose was like, I am on the opera board of Los Angeles, and if you don't like, and opera is culture, so if you don't like opera, then you don't have culture. And as soon as they said that, they show Amanda, she's on her screen, on her phone, scrolling on her screen, and the song that popped into my head was not opera. It was Money Can't Buy You Class. Money can't buy you class. And hydrate. Yes, because Amanda's here scrolling on her phone, and that's low class. Even if it's something that doesn't hold your attention, listen, they went to great lengths to get this, to make this surprise for you, to do something nice for you. And I mean, can you pick your face up from your phone and appreciate the talent, the pure talent and natural talent that these people have? It's ignorant and it's rude. And honestly, listen, Sutton saying, listen, what opera makes me fall asleep, and then telling them, don't tell a soul. It's on TV. They're recording it. There's a good chance they're going to put it in, and they did. But even Sutton, as much as it bores her, she stood up and she clapped. Money can't buy you class. So after this, Amanda then pulls Dorit aside and says, hey, listen, can I talk to you just one-on-one? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. I just have to go to the restroom. I have to pee first. She didn't say that. She said, after I use the restroom. Dorit then goes and is talking to Bose, and she's like, oh, are we about to have dinner? What's going on? She's like, well, yeah, I mean, we're going to have it. We're going to have dinner. I mean, pretty soon here. Sure. And she says, okay, because Amanda wants to talk to me, but I don't want to keep anybody waiting, which is a bold-faced lie, because Erica had to go up and call you to get you to come downstairs after Bose called you to get your ass downstairs. So this whole, I don't want to keep anybody waiting, is a lie, because you just did. And so she's like, well, Dorit's like, well, I would rather enjoy my dinner. So how about if we talk about it and see where it goes? And she's like, okay, I guess. Sutton is like, well, it's obvious that Dorit has no respect for Amanda. So Amanda got a nut up. She got to say something. She got to show that she cares about Dorit, and she wants to get this resolved. Listen, neither one of them women give two shits about the other. Dorit doesn't give a shit about Amanda, and Scamanda doesn't give a shit about Dorit. So I don't know why they would even want to, after this episode, I would think that they would just be like, I'm not even going to try. You know, listen, we're past mid-season. I don't even know why we want to try. Rachel, they were talking, and Rachel's like, listen, if I could, I was made for Europe. I would move to Europe tomorrow. She has like money set aside. Of course she does. She's fucking rich. She has money set aside. She would move to the south of France. She would live in caftans and jewelry all day and just make jewelry as like a little side hobby. And that's what she would do. That sounded lovely. That sounded absolutely fantastic, which made me think, could I move to Europe? I could move to Europe, but I couldn't live just anywhere. I don't think I could live in France. I would either live in London or I would live in Italy. One of those two. I don't know. In the comments, let me know if you could move to Europe, and if you could live in Europe, and if you could, where you would live. All right, mine is either London or Italy. All right. Okay, Kyle then brings up the fact that she saw a headline about how Dorit and PK had dinner, and it was a headline from Page 6, and it said something like they had dinner, and Dorit hinted at a possible reconciliation, which we find out later, no, there's no reconciliation. We're not getting back together. I'm just doing it for the kids. And Erica was like, what the hell? Fuck, I have to come the whole way over here to find out about this? You don't tell me? You didn't tell me any of this? So Dorit's like, well, I'm choosing who to tell and who to speak to about my situation. It's very personal to me, and I just don't want to be judged. And I just feel more comfortable speaking to some people than to others. Meaning, she didn't come out and say it, but meaning Kyle and Amanda, but mainly Kyle. And I'm like, wait a minute, is this the start of Erica falling out with Dorit? Because that's what it seemed like. But then it seemed like at the end of this whole little discussion, it seemed like they were okay. Like, Erica didn't put too much into it, and neither did Dorit. But Dorit did say something like, well, you didn't tell me about your new man. So my thinking is this like Dorit's revenge? Is Dorit doing this because Erica didn't tell her about her new man? Erica was like, I didn't tell anybody. Like, this is brand new, and the paparazzi caught me. I didn't tell anything. It's not like I told I told everybody else and I didn't tell you. I didn't tell anybody. Erica also was shocked to see Sutton and Amanda sharing a room. And I agree with Sutton, or with Erica. If Sutton is trying to mend a relationship or build a relationship with Dorit, this isn't the best way to do it. Cozying up to someone who is not on the best of terms with Dorit, is not really one of Dorit's best friends. I see where Sutton's coming from, in that she used to be in this same predicament that Amanda's in, because she was new at one time and she was getting picked apart. Rachel then asks Amanda, like, oh, no, forget it. Let's rewind. And Sutton also says, I wanted to room with with Amanda to let her know it's okay to have an opinion about things, but you really should have told Dorit. You should have told Dorit what you were saying. And Amanda then comes out and is like, well, I feel like if I would have explained where I was coming from and the context and, you know, how I came upon that, how I came upon my opinion, and she would see that I meant no ill will. Well, Dorit's just not buying that, because she's like, listen, you don't know me, and you don't know my marriage, and she also doesn't think that this is coming from like a good place, because if it was coming from a good place, then you would have sat down with me and not went, or sat down with me first and not went around and talked about it to other people. And then when I asked you about it, you threw the whole thing on Kyle. And Rachel then asks Amanda, hey, listen, just for once and all, what's your opinion on this? Let's just get this out right now. This is right here. There are a few places where Amanda, I feel like Amanda could have, you know, last episode, she was like, informed consent, informed consent, informed consent. This is where I got it, because when I was doing my master's program, when I was doing getting my master's, you know, on therapy, I, you know, found out this is where I got this opinion. Informed consent. And she doesn't say that. She, instead, she says, well, you know, I'm not the only person that has this opinion. Other people have this opinion and have shared it, but you've only come after me. And Erica was like, listen, are you upset, Dorit, because she doesn't know you, and here she is talking one way to your face and then going behind your back and talking to other people another way about you? And Dorit's like, yep, that is how I feel. That is what I think. And then Dorit, like, without saying Kyle's name, you know that this is who she meant. She's like, if a friend comes to you from a good place and tells you something, and, you know, says it to you because they care, but then tells others about it goes behind your back to other people who don't know you, and you tell them about it, and you talk behind my back about me, then it's just no longer coming from a good place, which I can understand. But honestly, the best part of this whole episode was when Kathy laid down the hammer. Kathy Hilton, who typically, if there's like conflict, she's usually either like getting up and leaving the table, or she's digging in her purse or taking herself out of it. She's usually not in the middle of it at all. She then says, when you don't know a person, read the room and know your place. Listen, if I was at that table, I would have just been like, I wouldn't have said a word. Like, to be honest with you, I might have been afraid to breathe. This shuts everyone down. Even in her confessional, Erica was like, Mrs. Kathy Hilton, who is like, you know, always in her place. Like, she said this. If she says that, you're fucked. And everybody was just, it was quiet. It was just dead quiet. It shut it down. It shut everyone down, except for Amanda, that is. Because then Amanda, this is when Amanda finally brings up her informed decision. And like how she came about this you know, through getting her master's in therapy. And Rachel brings up a good point. Rachel was like, but Dorit's not talking badly about PK to her kids. So, and that shuts it down. I mean, I think Natalie was like, yeah, but you're not her therapist. How about if you just put on your friend hat and not your therapist hat? And that's the end of that. Amanda then has another question for Dorit. And she was like, what was your intention for going back through 357 blog posts from a blog that I published 14 years ago to bring up this cult? And listen, I'm with Kathy once again. I'm with Kathy when she said, if I'm annoyed with someone, if someone's annoying me, I'm going to do a deep dive on them. Listen, yes, I am going to do a deep dive. I'm sorry. If anybody wants to say they wouldn't, go ahead and say it, but I might do a deep dive. I'm just saying. And Bose was like, well, because she was like, if Amanda said, if you go out there and you type in Amanda Francis cult, nothing comes up. Bose was like, it does. If you type, yes, it does. It's the first thing that comes up. And Bose says something like, did you mean to hide it? Is it hidden? She's like, no, it's not hidden. She's like, well then, if you're not hiding it, you don't have a problem, then what's the big deal of somebody bringing it up? Which is true, because before Amanda was like, yeah, I was in a cult. If you want me to talk about it, I'll talk about it at any time. And now she's like, do you really want me to talk about this? Yes, we want you to talk about it. I'm going to tell you what, if I was there, I would have, that night that it came out, that Dorit brought it out, I would have been like, what about that cult? Tell me about this cult, because I'm fascinated by cults. Please tell me about this cult. So she starts talking about this cult. I feel like some of the women believe her, and others are maybe not as convinced, because she was telling them about it, and then they said something like, so did you leave? So you left. Was it hard to get out? She's like, I left in the middle of the night. And Jennifer Tilly was asking, and she was like, well, did they try to track you afterwards? And she's like, well, I packed up. I left in the middle of the night. The pastor did try to get in touch with me, but I called the people who ordained him, and they said they would talk to him, and he never bothered me again. The end of the story. And Tilly was like, that's way too simple. She's like, I left in the middle of the night, and they left me alone. The end. But, and I'm going to tell you though, Erica Jane, she might look like somebody she might look like she doesn't have knowledge, but just like a few seasons ago when she came out with like this, not with all this knowledge on these niche subjects, once again, Erica's niche knowledge, I love it. She was going on talking about cults, talking about the Manson, Charles Manson. Why did I almost call him Charlie Manson? Charles Manson, and then that mother god. The woman they thought she was God, and then she died, and then she was unalived, and they kept her in the back seat of the station wagon, wrapped up in Christmas tree lights. And then she was like, don't any of the mother god people fucking come at me. But Erica was right. Like, there's different kinds of cults, because there's the kind that are like really out there. But then there's these religious cults that are just very controlling. I mean, they come in all different shapes and sizes and all different types. But yeah, I love Erica's niche knowledge. Like, she'll throw it out there and I'm like, okay, I like this Erica too. But here's the thing. The good news, there is good news about all this cult talk for Amanda, because Dorit had brought it up so much. This gave Amanda a topic for her new book. So this is going to be her new book. I don't know if was she saying spiritual AF, or maybe it should be culty AF or a scammy AF. But please, Amanda, please don't bring, because she was like, thank you, Jesus, for bringing this batshit crazy woman into my life and giving me the idea for this book. Don't bring JC into that. He don't want that. He doesn't want that. I'm going to speak on behalf of him. Please don't bring JC into your scammy ways. Please don't do it. So the next day, Amanda and Sutton and Kyle meet up, and they were talking about the night before. Amanda was like, listen, it just felt very hostile and very tense last night. Sutton, once again, is like, you need to nut up. You need to just speak up. She's like, well, I'm not going to do that because I feel like I want to get everything together. I feel like I want to gather my thoughts. And I feel like the person who remains in control, or the person who remains calm and in control, or who remains calm and isn't screaming and flipping out, is in control. Listen, I tend to agree, but these women move in chaos. And that's because this is reality TV. And as someone who watches reality TV, I don't want to hear two sane, no, not sane. I don't want to hear two completely monotone women just talking over a cup of green tea. I don't want that. I want at least one person to be yelling. I want tables flipping. I want somebody to be throwing water. I don't necessarily need for like people throwing punches or throwing glasses or knives at each other. But I want a little bit of drama. I want a little bit of action. Okay, here's the thing. Sutton was like, I feel like Dorit was being very judgy about this cult. Here's the thing, Sutton. You're one to talk about Dorit because before she did this whole 360 turn on Amanda, she talked shit on Amanda to Dorit and Rachel about this cult thing. She talked shit on her. So I'm just saying. And then Kyle then gives Amanda a little bit more ammo and like juices her up, because she's like saying, well, this is hypocritical of Dorit, because Dorit doesn't want you judging her marriage or how she's acting towards PK, but she's okay with being judging you on being in a cult. So that was just it with that. And lastly, Rachel wakes up in the morning to a text from her son Caius, and it turns out that her ex-husband Roger, he sat his son down. He sat Caius down to talk to him about his friend, and he pretty much basically came out and said, "This is my girlfriend." Rachel's pissed because her sons, they don't want to hear about this woman, and they don't even want to be around her. And she had said that, listen, I don't want you bringing this woman around unless I'm in town, unless I'm there. That's it, unless I'm there. So she feels absolutely terrible because she's on the other side of the world And Caius doesn't even have Sky, doesn't even have his brother there. So it's just him there. And if this, I mean, so she can't be right there. So now all she wants to do now is just hop a plane and go home, because she wants to be there for her son. She feels terrible. I can see where she's coming from on that. I would too. Okay, so next week, it looks like Sutton and Dorit get into it. And also looks like maybe Kyle gets in there too, on Dorit. And there's some drama, looks like, between Natalie and Scamanda. So let me know in the comments if you watched and what you thought. And listen, there will be a video tomorrow. I have to get some stuff ready, because this weekend, in case you didn't know, is my absolute favorite weekend of the year, because Friday and Saturday lead up to my favorite day of the entire year. My favorite day of the entire year, better than my birthday, better than Christmas. It is Oscars Sunday. I love Oscars Sunday. It is my absolute favorite day of the entire year. So I'm going to decorate. I have to get, I have not written anything up yet for the Daras, because it will be the Daras again. So yeah, I'm so excited. I love it. I love it. Okay. So listen, if nobody told you yet today, you are loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world. Also, please spread kindness, because it is free and it is so badly needed. Also, please be aware of your surroundings, be smart and safe. Let us hydrate with some water. And if you're in a dangerous situation, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and positive energy your way, so you make it through. I love you guys. And tomorrow, I'm going to try to get out a video for Ladies of London. I watched it and I have to make some notes. So I'm going to rewatch it and make my notes. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, a great evening. Bye, guys.